Yeah, with Ernie coming, I'd been obviously playing against Ernie for many years, dating way back to South African days before he came over. And I don't think it's any coincidence that the resurgence at Saracens happened when Ernie arrived, and he was part of that resurgence and that new sort of rebirth of Saracens in 2009. Fantastic friend, I think a guy who's lived and breathed the culture and the way we want to do things around the club for the last 6-7 years. It's a sad day to see him go, but I suppose like everything in life, you've got to move on, and Ernie's going to do fantastically well in whatever he does. And we know he's going back to Stellenbosch. He's built a lovely house, he's got a family now, and I think he's just going to go from strength to strength, add value wherever he lands up.
Our friendship started when we were still living in Stellenbosch. Well, I was in a boarding house at Paulus, and this big bloke from Nelspruit came, and I was actually playing basketball. And I introduced myself to, then I didn't know, but then it was Ernst. And our friendship started in, I think, 97, so it's a long time ago. I mean, it's, and what a great friendship it's been.
On the field, brilliant player to have in your team. He's obviously he's got lots of experience, great leader for us. But also, my sort of abiding memories of him are just seeing him sort of flying down the edges of the field and having the ball in his hand and taking people on, and it was always a great sight to behold to have him doing that, and scored some wonderful tries for us. So. Brilliant to have him on the field.
Yeah, well, the first time I met Ernst was when he signed, when Brendan came in and Edward, and that first meeting where he brought everyone in and sat everyone down and said everyone to get to know each other basically, and about sort of 30-40 people that never really sort of met before, just sort of catching up. And I remember seeing Ernie obviously on my position. I was a young lad at the time, sort of 18, and just sort of watching him play over his time has been a massive part of my journey as well. He's taught me a lot, and when I speak to him, I've obviously had a lot of chats here and there about various things, and he's always helped with whatever I've needed. So it's just a massive thanks to Ernst for everything he's done for me, and I'm sure that whatever he goes to do now is going to be successful, and I wish him and his family well.
He's he believes there's conspiracy theories and everything, and he always tries to overanalyze things, and he thinks about things a lot, and a good guy to ask advice from, because he thinks things through over and over and over again. He hardly makes impulsive decisions. I love him for him that, but he's a great guy. It's quite different than what I am. I just kind of act on impulse, which is not great either. So
we're all going to miss him. I've got a particularly close bond with Ernst and his wife, and it's it's going to be a big loss for me that both of them are going. Probably more so Minky. All my justifiable research will now be canned. And I'll have to do some screen editing when that comes along. Sorry, Minky. But yeah, he's a kind of guy that you can trust. He fronts up every week. We have a phrase in the club that you don't pick and choose when you play, you don't pick and choose when you train. And Ernst has got more training minutes than anybody else at the club. He always wants to train, does his extras, even at the ripe old age of 46. And for that, we're going to miss him. We appreciate his efforts. And as I said, the qualities that he has as a human being is second to none.
He was my best man. He's my best friend. I mean, what can I say more about the guy? On the pitch, I can say he's clever. He puts his heart and his soul into the game, and he will give everything that he can every game. As you can see, he's given his looks to the game of rugby, and off the pitch, I mean, one of the most loyal guys you'll ever find. A friend that would always stand up and help you out in the good and the bad times, and will stand by you. And there's only one Ernst.